Well, I was just informed, now that I have my chat finally up, that there was no sound for any of that. So I would like to say, uh, welcome again to. What is this? It's a strong start, isn't it? What is there? Is something behind me? Oh, you know what it is? It's my software. Let's just say this was a false start, and let's start over in a second. Good evening, everyone, to That Bible Guy's Christmas special. Something is still making sound. Not quite sure what it is. Uh, but I would like to thank everyone who is on already. Tonight we are going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. I'm going to be teaching you all how to make eggnog at home. It's something that is fun, but can get complicated. I'm going to be giving a gift wrapping tutorial. I'm going to be reading excerpts from different Christmas stories, and we will be having a special surprise guest at 6:30, which I'm really looking forward to. And yeah, so let's get started. Let's start things off with what's everyone doing this Christmas? That should probably be full screen, shouldn't it? I am just all kinds of frazzled. It is my first Christmas special, so bear with me. So, what's everyone got any questions for Christmas? What are your plans this Christmas? Anyone? Sleeping. That's funny. Hey, Movie Man's on. What's up, Movie Man? Love to have it. Thank you. It is the most basic dollar store Santa hat someone could possibly have. Always be with family and drink some hot cocoa. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this Christmas because it's gonna be a very very white Christmas as we will be spending it in Alaska with Donnie's family up there, and my family will actually be flying up there as well. So it's gonna be nice. I'm an only child, so this would have been my first Christmas not spent with my parents, and we're trying to prolong that as much as possible. It's going to happen eventually, but it was nice that we could have another Christmas where I didn't have to have that first Christmas away from home. But yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. So, let's see. Do we want to get started on making some eggnog? Tell you what, let's do it. I'm going to throw it over to Senor Frigidor, and we are going to get started on making eggnog. Hello, back in the kitchen where a lot of people are used to seeing me. That is Senor Frigidor, my sentient fridge. And Movie Man, the reason Rudolph has his own song is because Rudolph was just a marketing ploy by Target originally. He was a mass Target. One second, I need to go grab something for this little excursion. Plug in my phone so it doesn't die. Okay. Now, I don't want to get my suit jacket all messy. Take that off. And change into my chef's apron. Ah, there we go. Deadpool apron going on here. Flip. Okay. Looking good. We still got sound? We good on sound? Yep, we got sound. Okay. Okay. This, the mustache is immaculate. I love it too. So, eggnog. This is something that is a very traditional thing here in America. I don't know if we have anyone from outside the states that is joining us today, but this is a very traditional American Christmas beverage. And I'm just pulling up my ingredients here. Okay. I have to make sure I get my proportions right. I've made this every year for like the last 3 or 4 years. Uh, so it's been fun. Now, so the thing about eggnog is it is a fairly simple recipe, but there's also a lot of ways you can mess it up. One thing that's very important is temperature control when it comes to the so three, well, single parts cream and milk, three egg yolks. Okay, okay, here we go. What you're gonna need for eggnog: heavy whipping cream, whole milk, egg yolks, because yes, there is egg in eggnog. Sugar, allspice. Remember the extract. And vanilla. Now, first thing you're going to want to do, in a saucepan, not this side, you're going to want to measure out only 2 cups of yeah. Yeah. And making half the recipe, basically. I'm glad you like the fridge. Yeah, that's the thing is I discovered that when I was on my time in Ireland was actually where I learned that it is a very American thing, and is the reason why I learned how to make it myself because I couldn't find it anywhere except for candy shop. So, 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, You want equal parts heavy whipping cream and milk. If you want to be a little less fatty, you can make the whole thing with milk, even skim milk, but it just won't be as creamy. So, that. Couple dashes of vanilla. Don't want to go crazy on the vanilla. And when it comes to stuff like allspice, you got to feel it with your heart. But if you go too heavy on the allspice, it's going to get gritty. It's going to change the color, and it's going to overpower all the other flavors. You want it to just enhance the other flavors. So I just give it a nice, gentle sprinkling. General Kenobi! I'm going to be a little late on the replies on this segment. Okay, with that, over to the stove top. I'm going to get that heating up. Let's go together. You want to make sure to check this regularly. You do not want to leave this unattended. As I learned very traumatically a couple years ago at my wife's grandfather's house, where it all falls over and made it too bad. That was fun. I wasn't, as I was engaged by then. So my grandpa knew we were serious, so I think that he didn't mind as much. He was very patient with us. Okay. Now next, we're gonna whip together our. The mic is pretty choppy. Oh no. I will try to talk a little slower. So we'll still continue. You finished watching the Harry Potter movie. Let's see. I'm just checking to see that. I just exited out because it was. Oh, no, still there. A little choppy. Oh, no, big gone. Back. Let's see. Does it come back? Okay, good. That came back. Yeah, he's just finished the Harry Potter movie. Those are good movies. Watch them again. I love the Harry Potter films. They are very enjoyable. So this recipe called 12 eggs. That means we need 6 egg yolks. 6 egg yolks. I swear, I promise you, this is not nearly as gross as it seems. I promise you that. Now, what you're going to want to do with the egg yolks, you want to mix them in a mixing bowl that you can empty later. So where's our? Here it is. One dish that I need. A second, I will be right. I'm still here. Don't leave. This. Yeah. I prefer to do this by hand, but a lot of people use an electric mixer. Why is it bringing on the top? Because I'm using a different app to broadcast to multiple places, and so I'm what do you know? It fixes it. That's dope. Okay. But now it's just a little square. One sec. That is going to be much better. There we go. That's that more digital. There, there. Okay, so I'm going to bring can be tricky. It's one of those things you're gonna have to learn how to separate egg yolk from the white. Now you want to try and break the shell as cleanly in half as you can. Oh, wait, nope, I don't want the white in here. I want the egg whites in something else. I'll put the egg whites in the wrong bowl. So I'm more used to cooking like things that require me to have egg white out of there to cook with egg whites rather than the yolk. So you're gonna crack your egg. You want it to be nice and clean as you can get it, and then you're gonna let the white roll because there's a lot of membranes in that egg white, and it'll just really just kind of roll off in one piece. It'll come off nice and clean if you're very gentle with it. You don't want to bust that yolk. Then throw your yolk into the bowl. And we're gonna need 6 of these. Oh, that is a bad crack. See that? That is not what the Irish would call good crack. Oh, and my yolk broke. Okay, good. Got all the egg white out. And I'll save this, and I'll turn this into like meringue cookies or something. But I can probably show you how to make those too. Probably have the time. I don't know. We'll see. I made a really good root beer cloud bread, which I really like. Back when remember that trend? Cloud bread? What was the best Star Wars movie? Best Star Wars movie, in my opinion, is Empire Strikes Back. I am an original trilogy fan. I mean, I like all of them. I even like the new sequels. I do. I just think they could have been a lot better, and I think that they had a lot of missed opportunities. You know, this is egg number 6. Okay. Now. Hello. Okay. And we must remember, stir your milk. You don't want to burn on the bottom. I got it on a container heat right now. Smell that. Hello, Jada Queen. Okay, so now that we have that, recipe calls for a cup of sugar. This is a sweeter thing. A little bit. Now, what's important with the milk is you're trying to get that up to about 150, 160 degrees, but you're going to wait for it to cool back down to 140 because at 145 degrees, the milk will start to cook the egg. So you don't want that. You don't want the eggs to cook, but you want it to be hot enough that it kills any bacteria that might be in the egg. Now you want to whip this so it's a nice, creamy, pale yellow. A little smoother than that. Chef Bible Guy. Yes, welcome to Chef Bible. Man, that stinks. Sorry about that. Hope you get some new gaming headphones for Christmas. With it. See, that's a nice, kind of almost like yellow Play-Doh color. You want it to be a nice, smooth consistency. Now let's go check on the milk. There's sugar on here.
was saying about milk boiling over? Because it happened sudden and it happened fast. Like it wasn't even bubbling when I looked over here a second ago, and then it just. Woo-hoo. I'm not exactly Rachel Ray, okay? Well, that is way above the temperature. Okay. So we're going to add a little extra milk to that. Just to get it to cool down a little faster, and because we lost some volume. See, this is what happens when you're both the camera guy, the producer, and the celebrity chef. Yes, I'm making eggnog. So we are currently attempting to cool down the milk. It is currently at 170 degrees. We need to go down about another 30 degrees. Quite a bit. Okay. I'm going to clean this up a little bit because it needs to be cleaned up. Because my beautiful wife just cleaned this stove top. She is in the background. I do not hear her. Is that you, Gordon Ramsay? No. There is a pot. Still the pot, you donut! I thought you were talking about my wife. She is. No, no. Anyone on the chat, on the screen, on the TV? Anyone on Instagram chat? Not really. Still on Instagram. But 8 people on TikTok. Actually, I'm going to add. I am not showing Gordon Ramsay who's boss because I just almost like wrecked our kitchen. Where is let's do more allspice? A little allspice. Yeah, remember you want this to stay as close to 140 degrees as you can get it. If you want to kill any bacteria that might be in the egg, which is a very small risk, but it's there. It's cooling down. We're already down to 160. Wow, rude. Well, there's literally nothing we can really do until it's cool. So let's ask. Anyone got any Christmas con? I'm so tired. Christmas comments or questions, or like what are some interesting family traditions you all have? Can you continue to serve it while I look into the camera? Hi, I'm Guy Fieri, and this is Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. It hurts. And I'm blowing a blue steam. Santa comes into our house and we feed him these flammable things. Anything sounds bad if you say it in that light. Okay, the milk has cooled. Now comes the fun part. And I say that sarcastically. But slowly, and I cannot emphasize enough, slowly pour this 140-degree milk into our bowl, a little at a time. Do not pour the whole thing in at once, because you want to incorporate it slowly. Can't that make me think? Your bad Krampus gets you. More. Don't rush it. Take your time. We'll get a lot of air incorporated in it. Okay. A little bit. This here. Okay. My love, what time is it? 9:30? Okay. Perfect. That's what time I wanted to finish it. Now, with that, this is all mixed and incorporated, but it's too hot to drink. So we have to put it in the fridge. Cool. What to do? Wow, that is cool picture. Okay. Actually, we don't really have any pictures. Not a pineapple picture. Not exactly festive. What? Can we put milk in the? Yeah, they're too big. I only have like 4 cups of eggnog here. I don't know if I would feel comfortable putting milk in the bowl, like a milk frog cogger. Okay, I'll just put it in this picture. Oh, this bit. Perfect. Let that chill in the fridge overnight. Conveniently though, just like the professionals, I got a batch already ready to drink. Oh, uncanny, it's delicious. Mm. Eggy and doggy. Okay. Let's let's move on to our next segment, which will be over back by the fireplace, and I will teach y'all how to wrap some gifts.
Welcome back to the fireplace. We are now going to wrap some gifts. This is going to be fun because I am not a great gift wrapper. The whole point of this will be that I am bad at this. Anyway, where is our. Alrighty. We also have. Where is. We also have the wrap cam.
The wrap cam.
Right there.
Right there.
We will be
doing
some wrapping.
Doing some wrapping.
So,
let's start off
fairly simple.
Fairly simple.
A plain blue box.
Blue box.
Nothing too complicated about this. What I want to do is first you want to figure out how much overlap about here to how long we want to have it. You want to have a couple of overlap
of overlap
on both sides
on both sides
of the paper.
of the paper.
Because
Because
I
I
like
like
to
to
fold
fold
over
over
that
the edge
edge,
to make it a nice,
straight edge.
smooth,
I
straight
never
edge.
have sharp
I never have
scissors,
sharp scissors,
you know.
you know?
Now the next thing
Now,
you want to
the next
see
thing you
is,
want to do is,
are you going to be able to? Yeah,
are you
run
going
a
to be able
couple
to
inches on that side as
that
well.
side as well?
So this
So,
just happens
this
to
just
be
happens
just the right
just the
length
right length
or width
or
for
width
this particular
for
box.
this particular box.
So the way I like to do
So, the
it
way I like to do
is
it
I like
is
to
I like
set it
to
up
set it up
so when the person
so when
opens
the
up
person
the
opens
package,
up
they're going
the
to
package,
see
they're going to
what they're
see
getting, what their
what
gift
they're
was.
getting. What their gift
That
was.
way,
That way,
it's just
it's
the
just
best moment of
the
surprise. You don't
best
have to have
moment
that
of surprise. You
confusion
have to
of
have that
trying
confusion
to
trying
figure things
to
out.
figure things out.
It's going to be in up. So,
So,
with a nice
with a
normal
nice
square box
normal
like this,
square box,
I would advise
putting
putting the seam
the
in the middle like that.
seam
Just like that. Now, I'll make it as
and
nice
make it as
and centered.
centered.
Now, I don't ever
Now,
put
I don't
tape
ever
on the box.
see
Sometimes people have
box.
to
Some
hold the
people
spot
hold
by putting
hot,
tape on the box. I
tape on the
don't
box.
do that because it's like you risk
Yeah, it's like
damaging
damaging
the
the
pop that you're
top
trying to give to
that
people. So I'm gonna take this off because
you take this off because
it's too narrow for my shoulders.
now,
I can't. Right?
right?
It's like it's just
Because
it's
it's like
constricting. I can't move my arms properly. Okay. Now,
that's what
accidentally
accidentally
on the wrong
put
side.
on.
One thing I will
One
do
thing I
is I will take. I didn't even wrap it
I
yet.
didn't even wrap it.
One thing I like to do is
One thing I
I
like to do like to
bring
bring
one of the seams
one of the
straight to
seams
the corner.
straight to the corner.
It
Kind of gives it
a
kind
clean
of
look.
a clean look.
Look at that. Nice. Look at that. So clean.
So clean.
And we're going to take
Tape,
tape.
tape.
Now, they say
If
you want to be an expert
you want
scrapper,
to
you cannot use more
use more
pieces of
three
tape
pieces of tape
per
per
gift.
um
For
for a
elitists,
leader.
some don't agree with it.
You don't agree with it.
And then what I'll normally
And then what I'll do
is push it to one side.
push it to one side.
The length just right. So
Just right. There might be
this part a little bit.
this part a little bit,
But I always find it
but I always find
when
that
the excess flaps
the
on the
excess
side
flaps
fold
sides
straight
fold
down
straight down
and are exactly
and are exact
as
as
the box.
the box.
If you're looking at
So
it,
you
going all the way down to here, almost exactly,
exactly,
then
and
those flaps
bringing those flaps there
just like that.
like that.
Now
Now
we have this
little
flap. I don't
flap. I don't like
to fold down.
to fold down that a little bit. On that point.
Just like that. Now you have a nice flat
I have a
surface
nice
to work
flat.
with. Now we can trim this.
Now we can.
Again, you want to bring that.
You don't want to bring. Now, if you've done this right, it will
be the last
be the last bit
Because you have this nice
because you have this nice
built
flat
the
surface
tension in all the right places.
all the
You
right
want to be
places.
careful not to put too
You want to
much
be careful
on
not
the corners because
on
you
the
rip it.
corners to be rip it.
And I am completely off
And
camera.
I am completely off
That's better.
That's better.
Hold that in.
Put that in.
Hold
Oh,
that in.
and
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Pull.
Oh,
Just like that.
just like
Look how beautiful that is.
how beautiful that
Nice and clean.
Nice
It
and
seams like right along there.
right along there.
Nice, clean
Nice
edge.
edge.
Okay.
Okay.
Next,
Next,
let's do something a little bit more.
let's do something a little bit more.
What do we do about a
What do we do with
circular
item?
The scrap is.
Oh, the scrap is good.
Shane,
That's a waste.
I'm gonna do. I'm actually.
We gotta get creative.
Bang energy.
Bang energy. Yet.
Okay.
You know.
Nice thing about tin cans.
Nice thing about tin.
You don't gotta worry about.
You don't gotta worry about.
When it comes to the tape.
Oh.
Take your little bitty
Little
bit. And this is why sometimes.
This is why some.
More than 3 pieces.
Because you get a weird.
Now the
Figuring out
exactly
what I like to do around is take it gently twist the end. This. Then you buy a little just that little like Christmas topper. Cracker. Take and then Christmas Day break it open like that. See? Simple. Okay.
So it is
currently
546.
546.
Well then, we move on. Time, and my sack is hanging out there. There we go. I say we move on to story time. Okay. We don't need this anymore. It's just gonna be smooth sailing from here on out. Okay. Where is... Are you quite finished? There we go. Okay. Where are my Christmas books? Don't have you seen a little red book?
They're all over there, underneath your Bible.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Oh no. Okay, so tonight I will be reading from several different accounts. I received a message onto TikToks. Okay. Okay. welcome back, everyone. I am really looking forward to this one because this is going to be. Sorry, I'm opening up my other TikTok account so I can go and watch the live stream and look at your questions while I'm also doing this. Okay, let's see. Okay, so first up will be the opening pages of the A Christmas Carol, because I was reading through this the other day and it was freaking hilarious. I don't know why I found it so funny, just the way that Dickens describes Scrooge going and verifying that Marley's dead. So I will begin with Stave 1, Marley's Ghost. Marley was dead to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about it. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good upon change for anything he chose to put his hand to. Old Marley was dead as a doornail. Mind, I don't mean to say I know of any of my own knowledge what particularly is dead about a doornail. I might be inclined myself to regard a coffin nail as the deadliest piece of ironmongery in the trade, but the wisdom of our ancestors is in the simile, and my unhallowed hands shall not disturb it, or the country's done for. You will therefore permit me to repeat, empathetically, that Marley was dead as a doornail. Scrooge knew he was dead. Of course he did. How could it be otherwise? Scrooge and he were partners for I don't know how many years. Scrooge was his sole executor, his sole administrator, his sole assign, his sole residuary legatee, his sole friend, and his sole mourner. And even Scrooge was not so dreadful, cut up by the sad event, but that he was an excellent man of business on every day of the funeral, and solemnized it with an undoubted bargain. The mention of Marley's funeral brings me back to the point I started from. There is no doubt that Marley was dead. This must be distinctly understood. There's nothing wonderful, nothing wonderful can come from a story I'm about to relate. If we were not perfectly convinced that Hamlet's father died before the play began, there would be nothing more remarkable in his taking a stroll at night in an easterly wind upon his own ramparts, and there would be any other middle-aged gentleman rashly turning out after dark in breezy spot. Say St. Paul's churchyard, for an instance, literally to astonish his son's weak mind. Scrooge never painted out old Marley's name. There it stood years afterwards, above the warehouse door. Scrooge and Marley. The firm was known as Scrooge and Marley. Sometimes people new to the business called Scrooge, and sometimes Marley, but he answered to both names, and it was all the same to him. And it's just something about the way that he wrote out that passage. Hey, Allie, Allie's on. There's just something funny about the way that Dickens wrote out that passage. That there's even a little bit of comedy to it. I don't know what particularly is dead about a doornail. I would think that a coffin nail would be a little bit more dead. It was almost like he was trying to start a stand-up set. And also the way he just goes into immense detail that Mr. Marley is dead. Jacob Marley, not Bob Marley. I always want to say Bob Marley. But the way he goes into extent detail and then brings up Hamlet, because in Hamlet, his father shows up as a ghost, as we all know Marley will show up later in the book. And so I just really enjoy what Dickens did there. Now let's see here. Icy Hot is on. Excited for the All Might Before Christmas. Well, I'm going to do the Nightmare Before Christmas before I get to that. That'll be in a few minutes. What time is it? Ah, yes. So that we'll have plenty of time once we do that. And then I think we'll have a few minutes to chat. And then we'll be having a little surprise guest show up for a conversation. It'll be fun. Let's see. Nightmare Before Christmas. It was late one fall in Halloween land, and the air had quite a chill. Against the moon a skeleton sat alone upon a hill. He was tall and thin with a bat bow tie. Jack Skellington was his name. He was tired and bored of Halloween Land. Everything was the same. I'm sick of the scaring, the terror, the fright. I'm tired of being something that goes bump in the night. I'm bored with leering my horrible glances. My feet hurt from dancing those skeleton dances. I don't like graveyards. I need something new. There must be more to life than just yelling boo. Then out of the grave with a curl and a twist came whimpering and whining a spectral mist. It was a little ghost dog with a faint little bark and jack-o'-lantern nose that glowed in the dark. It was Jack's dog Zero, his best friend he had, but Jack hardly noticed, which made Zero sad. All night and all next day Jack wandered and walked, he filled with dismay. That's a very short one. Then deep in the forest, just before night, Jack came upon an amazing sight. Not 20 feet from the spot where he stood were 3 massive doorways covered in wood. He stood before them completely in awe, his gaze transfixed by one special door. Entranced and excited, with slightly less sense of worry, Jack opened the door that was to a white, windy flurry. Got the 3 trees, or the 3 doorways, which is interesting because there's a lot more doorways in the movie. Going down. Jack didn't know, but he'd fallen down in the middle of the place called Christmas Town. Immersed in the light, Jack was no longer haunted. He finally found the feeling he wanted. And so that his friends would think him a liar, he took presents-filled stockings that hung by the fire. He took candy and toys that were stacked on the shelves and a picture of Santa with all of his elves. And he took lights and ornaments and the star from the tree. From the Christmas Town sign, he took the big letter C. He picked up everything that sparkled or glowed, and even picked up a handful of snow. He grabbed it all without being seen and took it back to Halloween. What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. Back at Halloween, a group of Jack's peers stared in amazement at his Christmas souvenirs. For this wondrous vision, none were prepared, most were excited, and few were quite scared. For the next few days, while lightning and thundered, Jack sat alone and obsessively wondered, why is it that they get to spread laughter and cheer, while we stalk the graveyard, spreading panic and fear? I could be Santa, I could spread cheer. Why does he get to have it every year after year? Outraged by injustice, Jack thought, and he got an idea. Yes, yes, why not? Jack's Lament. A Christmas Town Santa... Oh no.
What?
Is it working on your end?
On what?
On anything.
Yeah.
Okay, good. This it was, Here we go. In Christmas Town, Santa was making some toys. Through the din he heard a soft noise. He answered the door, and to his surprise he saw weird little creatures in strange disguise. They were altogether ugly and rather petite. As they opened their sacks and yelled trick or treat. Then confused Santa was shoved into the sack and taken to Halloween Town to mastermind Jack. In Halloween everyone gathered once more, and they'd never seen a Santa before, and they cautiously gazed at the strange old man. Jack related to Santa his masterful plan. My dear Mr. Santa, I think it's a crime that you got to be Santa all of this time, but I know I will give presents and I will spread cheer. We're changing places. I'm Santa this year. It is I who will say Merry Christmas to you, and you may lie in my coffin, creak doors, and yell boo. Please, Mr. Claus, don't think ill of my plan. I'll do the best Santa job that I can. And though Jack and his friends thought they'd do good, the idea of Christmas was still quite macabre. They were packed up and ready for Christmas Eve day, and Jack hitched his reindeer to his sleek coffin sleigh. But Christmas Eve, as they were about to begin, a Halloween fog slowly rolled in. Jack said, "We can't leave in this fog. It's just too thick. There will be no Christmas. I can't be St. Nick." A small glow of light pierced through the fog. Could it be? Yes. Zero, Jack's dog. Jack said, "Zero, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?" And to be so needed was Zero's great dream. He so joyfully flew to the head of the team, and the skeletal sleigh started a ghostly flight. Jack cackled, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." I love this. This was both written and illustrated by Tim Burton. 'Twas the nightmare before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was peaceful, not even a mouse. The stockings all hung by the chimney with care, when opened that morning would cause quite a scare. The children, all nestled snug in their beds, would have nightmares of monsters and skeleton heads. The moon was hung over the new-fallen snow, casting eerie pale over the city below. The Santa Claus laughter now sounded like groans, and the jingling bells like clattering bones. And what their wandering eyes should appear, a coffin sleigh with skeleton deer, a skeletal driver so ugly and sick, they knew this moment it can't be Saint Nick. From house to house, a true sense of joy, Jack happily issued each present and toy. The rooftop to rooftop he jumped and he skipped, leaving presents that seemed straight from the crypt. Unaware of the world was in panic and fear, Jack merrily spread his own brand of cheer. He visited the house of Susie and Dave, and they got Gumby and Pokey from the grave. And when the home of little Jane Neiman, she got a doll possessed by a demon, a monstrous train with tentacle tracks, a ghoulish puppet wielding an axe, a man-eating plant disguised as a wreath, a vampire teddy bear with very sharp teeth. Little scary toys. There were screams of terror, but Jack didn't hear. He was much too involved with his own Christmas spirit. Jack finally looked down from his dark, starry frights and saw the commotion, the noise, and the lights. Why, they're celebrating! Looks like such fun! They're thanking me for a good job that I've done. But what he thought were fireworks meant as goodwill were bullets and missiles intended to kill. Amidst the barrage of artillery fire, Jack urged Zero to go higher and higher. Away they flew like a storm in a thistle, until they were hit by a well-guided missile. And they fell to the cemetery, way out of sight. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Jack pulled himself up from the large stone cross, from where he reviewed his incredible loss. I thought I could be Santa. I had such belief. Jack was confused and filled with great grief. Not knowing where to turn, he turned to the sky and slumped into the grave, and he started to cry, and Jack and Zero lay crumpled on the ground when suddenly they heard a familiar sound. My dear Jack, said Santa, I applaud your intent. You're now wreaking such havoc was not what you meant. You are sad and feeling quite blue, but taking over Christmas was the wrong thing to do. I hope you realize that Halloween's the right place for you. There's a lot more, Jack, I'd like to say. But now I must hurry, for it's almost Christmas Day, and then he jumped in his sleigh, and with the wink of an eye he said Merry Christmas and bid them goodbye. Back home, Jack was sad, but then like a dream, Santa brought Christmas to the land of Halloween. That ends very anticlimactically. Okay, let's move on to what everyone has been waiting for, and the whole thing that kind of inspired this little Jake's Christmas special, or Bible Guy's Christmas special. I've been laying on my leg too long, and now my knee is in much, much pain. There we go. We are on our way to listen to The All Night Before Christmas. There we go. Ho, ho, ho. Perfect. Okay. That is framed well. This is it's not super altered. It's pretty much the poem of A Night Before Christmas, but with a few key changes. And I will be doing it in the voice of All Might. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the UA dorms not a creature was stirring, not even Minetta. Stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The students all nestled and snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mr. Aizawa in his kerchief and me in my cap settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out in the quad there rose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, I tore open the shutters, I threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave luster of midday's objects below. When what my wondering eyes did appear but a miniature sleigh with 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver, lively and quick, I knew in this moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than Ingalls, his coursers they came, he whistled and shouted, and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen,
on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away, all as leaves that before the wild Detroit smash fly, when they met with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too, and then a twinkling heard on the roof, the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head, I was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. Dressed in all fur, from head to foot, his clothes were tarnished with ash and soot. A bundle of toys had flung on his back. He looked like a peddler, just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples so merry. His cheeks were like rose, his nose was like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow. His beard on his chin was as white as snow. A stump of a pipe was held in his teeth, and then smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed, like a bowl full of jelly. Ha, ha, ha! He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and laughed when I saw him in spite of myself, and a wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work. He filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, laying a finger aside his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, and to his team he whistled. And away they all flew, like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere they drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a Plus Ultra night!"
Okay. So that was the All Might Before Christmas. I'm actually thinking about possibly recording it and seeing if I can get someone to maybe draw some still frames for it. But we've got about 20 minutes before my special guest arrives. And so let's just chat. Let's just hang. Let's see what's everyone's up to. How's everyone tonight? Too. Thanks, Icy Hot. I really do want to record that and then post it. See if I can get some TikTok artist to just kind of like draw like individual frames of it. That could be kind of cool. Let's see. That's weird. Okay. We can get rid of that All Might Before Christmas. So, what's everyone's favorite Christmas movie? Well, like what when Christmas season rolls around, what do you feel you have to watch? Like, what is the big important film for your family? Because I know that like my top 3 right now are in order. Number 1, Elf. Number 2, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And number 3, Scrooged. And Donnie showed me National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation for the first time this year. I had never seen it up to this point. Home Alone. Home Alone is a classic. You gotta watch Home Alone around Christmas time. And A Christmas Story. Donnie doesn't like Christmas Story. It's not that she doesn't think it's a good movie. It was like overplayed in her house because her parents would just put it on the TV, like right because they put the TBS 24-hour. Both, yeah. But which is unfortunate because it's probably my number 4, and I will one day own a full-size replica of that leg lamp because that is yes, I will. You're not gonna stop me.
You can put it into your man cave.
No.
but that's where
No.
it will live.
It will go into the front window,
Well,
just like the movie. It's going, yes.
Wish.
Elf, yes. I was shocked to find out the movie man does not like Elf. I was shocked.
He doesn't?
He doesn't. He hates it. He hates it. Right?
Interesting.
I am like, dude, that's like the number one Christmas. That's like the most recent Christmas classic. You know what I mean? The most recent movie to come out that like it's going to be an endearing classic. Besides, I'd say Klaus is definitely going to be an endearing classic. I really liked Klaus. I
The
think
one with the interesting artwork?
yes, the one with that beautiful animation style. The Netflix one. Also, the Christmas Chronicle movies, they're really good. I don't know if they're, like, endearing like Elf, but they're really good, and they're enjoyable. I think they'll last. But I think they'll be more like, I don't know. They'll be the B team of Christmas movies. Grinch, which one? Donnie really likes the Jim Carrey's Grinch. I really like the Jim Carrey Grinch, too. But the original is my favorite. The original is my favorite. Nothing beats that original, "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch." Nothing
What do
beats
you
that
mean?
original. Nothing beats that original song.
Yeah, that song is also in the
Yeah,
Jim
but
Carrey
nothing
version.
beats the original, like, version of that song. It's so good. Jim Carrey was just trying to impersonate the original song. I can't remember his name. He has a really
like,
weird
at the,
name.
You know, at the beginning of the song, though, it's not him, right?
No,
In
he's...
the actual, like, scenes of him, it's him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they don't use the original guy. In the... They don't. I can't remember his name. It's like... If Movie Man was on here, he'd be able to tell me.
Yeah, I'm going to share this on Facebook.
What? Am I live? Sure. Go ahead. I wouldn't mind some people watching. Y'all sleeping on Rudolph. Oh, Rudolph is great. Even though it was started as a marketing tactic for Target. A lot of people don't realize that, but he was not originally a character created just for entertaining children. He was originally a Target mascot.
Young Deku,
Or he doesn't say Deku, he calls him Midoriya.
young Midoriya, have you been nice this year?
Dang it. Oh no. Oh, yeah.
Why weren't you at
Why weren't you at
Elf?
elf practice? One second, folks. There we go. Better.
Let's say it again now.
Young Midoriya, why weren't you at elf practice?
Now I just need All Might in every single Christmas movie. All over the place. There we go. You should do more of these. I want to do more. But this was a lot of work. And not a lot of people showed up. I'm kind of bummed. But the people who did show up, thank you. You're the backbone
The real G's.
of all this. You're the real G's. Anyone who said they were going to show up and didn't, shame on them. Christmas star on the horizon. Yeah, I mean, everyone's like, it's the end of the world. It showed up 800 years ago, and it wasn't the end of the world. I don't know why people are freaking out about it. And it feels like
No,
anything... Huh?
Freaking out about what?
The Bethlehem star that's showing up after 800 years. It's like anything that is like slightly like out of the ordinary and is like based in space. They're like, it's the end of the world. It's not. There's nothing in the Bible about the Bethlehem star being part of the end times. Yeah, I'm excited to see it too. I'm a big like astronomy nut. And so I'm looking forward to it too. Which is technically not even a star. It's two planets converging and increasing each other's luminosity. Which, that's really cool. Yeah, eventually. But not on the 21st. I'm a post-tribber. So I think the tribulation happens, then Jesus comes back. So until the tribulation starts, we're no less than 7 years away from Jesus returning. So what do you guys think of my fireplace? And got my little Christmas village set up here. Anyone else doing anything fun for Christmas? Or are people trapped at home not being able to really go out? Anyone traveling for Christmas? Anyone? Traveling? There's 7 of you. There's 8 of you on here. You are? Thank you, my love, for keeping the conversation going. You're a dream and a peach.
Don't say it sarcastically.
I'm not saying sarcastically.
We're giving to the homeless.
Oh, nice. Does it bump...
Graphite Beast.
Graphite Beast is back. Like I said, I'm a post-tribber, so he's always at least 7 years away until we start the tribulation. Once the tribulation starts, then it's 7 years after that point. But anyway, we're talking Christmas right now. We're talking the other Advent. What's up, Graphite Beast?
I sent you a night.
Oh, nice. Thank you for joining us. Here's a hint about who the guest is. He is a much bigger TikToker than me. He's got millions
But that's
of followers. Yeah, but people that I like interact with a lot. And I'm gonna need to wear my headphones when I have them on because then I don't want to have echo. Just waiting for
on a date. Where did you go on a date?
a date. Unfortunately, I had to mute people before because they were spamming the same thing over and over again, and it's been a habit. So we're here to have a conversation, not just spam. So I'm sorry that they are upset. But yes, the mod is not muting for no reason. She only mutes people I request. Unfortunately, it's part of this. You know, when people come on here and they spam, there's been a couple people that have been spamming, and so I Black Hammer, hello. So I had to mute them.
Claire. So it is a he.
What?
Somebody said.
It is a he. She's got home from a date. I'm glad that you had a nice date with your fiance. Donnie and I can't go out on dates because everything is closed down, and we're broke. Both of those things. Both is bad.
Both is bad.
And what's up, Black Hammer? What's up? It's been a while. I haven't seen you. Hi, Claire. Sorry, I delayed on saying hi, Claire.
I didn't. Hey, he's got a beard like you.
Who does? What?
Black hair.
Yeah, he's got a beard. He's in that picture before.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody suggested, nothing much, haha. How are you guys?
Wait, let's just what?
No, somebody, not on, like, this or anything, but
Uh-huh.
somebody
And live it?
No,
Oh.
just for sanity's sake.
Well, yeah, I wish we could go out on a date. But we have the worst governor in the U.S.
How are you guys? We're okay.
We're good.
How is the new house?
Oh,
Last
yeah.
summer?
How's the house? Getting ready for your first Christmas in the house? What do the likes do?
I don't know. I can't even like and
You just double tap.
oh.
Yeah.
Snap. I'd be willing to bet that Illinois has a worse governor.
I mean, they do have. That is where Chicago resides. The Chicago mayor is absolutely terrible. I'm looking forward to a couple more minutes.
Any other guesses as to
Any other guesses who it might be? Who my special guest might be? I'll give a hint.
Beer Bong John.
No. Cooler than Beer Bong John, though. And actually, I think he has more followers than Beer Bong John.
Really?
Maybe slightly less. They're very close in followers. I'll give you one last hint. Bum 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 ba da ba da bum 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 ba da bum ba da ba bum bum ba da ba bum.
How is that supposed to be a hint?
It is.
How?
It's not my mother. My mother does not have. She has 2 followers, me and Doni. And because every time someone follows her, she blocks them.
Really?
Yes, every time. Because she doesn't want anyone following her.
Why?
She's only on TikTok to watch our stuff and Gordon Ramsay's. She's on TikTok to watch me, Doni, and Gordon Ramsay. The duck. Oh, they got the song. Da 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 da. The duck.
How is it? It's the limited order for the duck song. Yep, that's who he got.
Yeah, I got an animated character from a Flash video from 20 years ago. James Charles, no.
Kyle Troy.
I'm not gonna put that frickin' child groomer on my what? What? He is. He's a child groomer.
Diamond grapes. Hey, what are we having for dinner tonight?
I don't know. What do you want?
Your boss at your new job?
My boss at my new job.
Yes, such a late.
He doesn't even have a TikTok.
The duck is coming.
The duck. Gupta. The duck is coming. Wait, toss me the child. Gupta. I should have done that audio with
Da Vinci?
Da Vinci. I should have done that audio with one of the goats while we were down there, or up in Washington. That'd been funny. I'll do it with
Don't have any of the kids up there.
what?
No, they don't have any of the kids up there.
I'll do it with one of your dogs when we're in Alaska.
Howdy. Howdy.
Yeet.
Howdy.
The Red Dead Kid. Da Vinci? Try to share the original cat sound video. It won't let me. Weird.
He's caught in an iceberg.
George Washington, 100%. It is. It is George
100%.
Washington.
Yep, no cap there.
We got George Washington.
Isn't that Moana's dad though?
It's his singing voice. But I'm talking about the real George Washington. We dug up his corpse.
What are you talking about?
We dug up his corpse.
I'm talking about the words George Washington.
We brought him back to life.
Oh my
You're
God.
talking about the Washington. You're talking about the bad A Washington from Hamilton. I do not think George Washington was that just outright bad A in real
No,
life.
he was.
No, I mean he did some pretty awesome stuff, but like I'm talking personality wise. I just think he was a
what's
very
your opinion of Baby Yoda's real name?
Grogu.
That's hey, don't make fun of them.
Grogu.
That's my Among Us name.
Okay, I have to say it was so cute in episode 14. spoilers for Mandalorian episode 14, where at the beginning he goes, Grogu? Huh? Grogu. Huh? He keeps saying his name to get him to look at him. Alexander Hamilton. Hello, Caesar.
You need to run and just cut into a mimic.
What? Oh.
That's what somebody said.
Yeah, they're talking about that that mimic the tree video. Why did that blow up? Why do the videos I spend no time or effort on blow up? It drives me nuts.
They're always those ones. So did you get what's his name?
What?
His name?
And it's only the singing voice of Moana's dad.
Well, Miranda.
What about him?
Did you get him? Because they said, I know, Alexander Hamilton. What's a mimic?
So, a new Funko Pop. I wish. No one sent anything to the P.O. box in a couple weeks. Oh, actually, I have a couple letters I gotta open and make a video about.
From that one kid's book.
What? So, who was I gonna say? A mimic. It's a thing from D&D and kind of fantasy that is like, it's a shapeshifter that turns into like treasure chests and stuff to lure people into opening the treasure chest and then eats them with a bunch of teeth and.
I'm just guessing, but
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, can you see if the eggnog is chilled? Please. Or it could be Gingy. Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
Well, she's married to the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man! Is witchcraft? Yes, witchcraft is literally insane.
How do I know it's done?
If it's cold.
It's still pretty warm on the outside.
Really? Okay, put it back in. It probably won't be chilled till tomorrow morning. That vegan teacher, ugh! I would never in a million years have the vegan teacher on unless she was renouncing her ways. You gotta go. Bye. Vegan Hey, got any graves? What?
Read this book.
Why? He's gonna be on any minute.
Oh, never mind.
The Muffin Man.
Harry Potter or Jabba the Hutt?
What's that? Like in what context? Who would win in a fight? Who would I rather be? Who would I?
No, who you're having on? Your brother?
Oh, I don't have a brother. Are you saying Jabba the Hutt's my brother? I'm kidding. I don't think you're saying that. No, I don't have a brother. I have a cousin who's like a brother. Relationship, but like. Isn't it?
What is Yuletide?
Yuletide? I don't know. Probably. Oh, they're talking about Yule. It's like right. Christmas is. It's been a while since I've seen Outlaw on here. What's up, Outlaw? Give him a minute to log on because it is. Would you rather be Gandalf or Dumbledore? Gandalf. Gandalf is already living a Christ-like life because he's supposed to be like Christ. Dumbledore, not a fan. Dumbledore's a total meanie. He is! All the stuff he puts Harry through? I mean, come on. It's cruel. It's unusual.
Can't believe that I married a man who believes that about Dumbledore, but doesn't believe the same exact thing about Snape.
Snape did it for Harry's own good.
No.
Dumbledore did it for his own selfish gain. Left him in the dark.
You don't abuse a kid for his own good. That's like
Chicken
saying that,
nuggets.
That's like saying that
You
Bonnie,
discipline. You discipline kids for their own good.
Not the way that.
And he was a twisted individual. He was a broken person. Dumbledore.
So is that-
Dumbledore had
Bonnie-
all.
Bonnie
Dumbledore.
Bonnie
Okay,
was
But okay,
twisted.
first of all, Dumbledore had all of life's benefits and still turned out into a selfish jerk. Snape was abused and beaten regularly. And yeah, he's not like a role model, but his intentions were to help Harry and to care about Harry. Those were his intentions. Because he saw just as much of James Potter in him than Lily. James Potter was a grade A jerk.
Tim said I would rather be Snape.
Tim Hafner would rather be Snape. And who is a more kind-hearted individual than Tim Hafner?
Respectfully, no.
Well, you're wrong.
How am I?
Still waiting on him. I'm sure he'll get on here in a second.
How was you joining?
Through the app, the live stream app. Yeah. But where is he? If he doesn't show up in like a couple more minutes, I'll send him a quick message. Because I know he's coming off of another live.
Harry, did you put your name in the goblet of fire? Dumbledore asked calmly.
Christmas every time. Dude, you know
What
I'm gonna
is
say
Yuletide?
Christmas. It's the pagan version of Christmas. It's the holiday that was on the same day that Christmas co-opted the day and a couple of the traditions.
I didn't know that. Hi, Jake. Hello, Nicholas Silver.
Hello, Nicole.
Oh, sorry. I can't read. Well, I can't read.
Well, neither can I. That's weird.
What's wrong? Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Christmas, 100%.
Really? But you're
Yeah.
also one of those people that refuses to decorate before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because I think Thanksgiving, just because I prefer Christmas over Thanksgiving, doesn't mean that I don't think Thanksgiving doesn't deserve its time in the spotlight. What's my favorite pop? Not sure. Probably Deadpool's zombie right now. It changes, ebbs and flows. Yeah, we heard you, Outlaw.
Tips to get closer to God.
Tips to get closer to God. My advice would be make sure you're in the Word daily. Pray, make sure your prayer life is healthy, that you're talking to God.
Why did you bring this out and not put it back?
And then fellowship. You need to be in fellowship with other believers. You need to be going to church. And you need to, if you're having particular sin issues with particular sins, then you need to be getting an accountability partner and someone's going to keep you accountable for those things. I hope he didn't forget, because you know he was streaming from 4 to 6, and then he said he was going to get off and then come over here. Movie Man is on.
BRB, gotta connect my headphones.
Okay. See you soon. Movie Man, it's not too late to join. If you want to join.
To join what? This?
Yeah. I can bring them on still.
Is Jake sending me a Zoom link? Are you sending him a Zoom link?
No, it's not a Zoom link. It's a link to another thing, but just copy and paste it into any. You can open it up on your computer or your phone. And it will pop right up. A duck walked into a lemonade stand.
You got it into everybody's brains. Do you watch Steven Universe?
I do not, even though everyone says I look like Steven Universe. I'm glad. Okay, if Movie Man's joining, I'm glad because like, I have words. I have words for you, Movie Man.
Words to shout.
Time for a lively debate.
Thanks for the advice.
welcome.
I'm really craving some of that boba.
What about Terra Boba?
Taro boba.
What about Eggnog Boba?
I'm back. Hello, Graphite. Graphite, are you doing like a Christmas series right now?
Huh?
I'm just asking her if
Oh.
she's doing a Christmas series. Cause I've seen a reindeer and a Santa, and then
Well, my assumption would be she'd do a Christmas series.
I'm just curious because there's also like a lot of anime stuff.
Nani? Nani? Well, our guest just canceled.
Oh, really?
Yep.
What
Helping people. Well, he said, "Can you give me 30 minutes?" And it's gonna be over in 30 minutes. So. Well, that's a real bummer.
Well, what about Movie Man?
Well, let's hope Movie Man joins.
Yeah,
Um.
Reindeer, Buddy the Elf, a Snowman, Christmas Tree. Oh, I didn't see the Christmas Tree one. I'll have to go find that one.
Yeah, I'm real bummed about that.
What's
No, I definitely can't say who it was because I don't want to make them look bad for not joining.
What's your thoughts on
The Movie Man. Oh my gosh. Add as a graphic 3.
What's your thoughts on pineapple on pizza? I think
It's
the
a sin.
I think it's not the worst, but not the best.
It's the sin. It's a sin.
It's not a sin.
Okay, so we got someone joining us. Movie Man. Why is it so zoomed in on your eyeball?
Whose eyeball?
Hello, Movie Man.
What is up? That Bible guy.
What's up, man?
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's really zoomed in. Let me see if I can fix that.
Is it me or you?
I don't know. I think I can fix that. 1 second. Let me get in.
Well, there you go.
That's better. Yeah. Try to come to the,
No idea.
the left of the screen because it cuts off and it looks like half the screen.
Best I can do. How's that?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Cool. All right. So, John, I've got a question for you.
I have an answer.
Is Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas movie?
No, not at all.
Why not? Why not? I don't get this logic at all. Okay, explain it to the people here. Give your side.
All right, so first of all, the first song in the movie is what? This is Halloween. There you go. That's number one. This is Halloween. So the whole movie is predicated on Halloween taking over Christmas. So
Okay.
it's not Christmas taking over Halloween because then that'd be a Christmas movie. Instead, it is Halloween taking over Christmas, which makes everything scary.
Yeah, but okay. The original creators consider it a Christmas movie. Disney always airs it as a Christmas movie. The book is a Christmas movie, and it's the title of the movie is A Nightmare Before Christmas. And,
Yeah, but the title is also The Nightmare.
Exactly, but I mean, that's like saying that Krampus isn't a Christmas movie just because it's a horror film.
Did you know there's another horror film called Santa's Sleigh?
I've heard of
SLAY.
I actually had a short film I wanted to do called that, and then when I learned that there was already a feature-length horror film called that, it took all the wind out of my sails to make the short film. But it was literally just going to be a kid creepily singing "He sees you when you're sleeping," and then like a trailer to the movie, but it okay. So
All right, well, let me go back to Nightmare. Let me ask you: is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes.
No.
Okay, why is
100%.
it a Christmas movie for you?
Excuse me, miss. My wife is screaming no from behind the camera. Because one,
Yeah, she's wrong. It's okay.
Takes place on Christmas.
Okay.
The whole thing is set at a Christmas party. And what is one of the most important lessons that people tend to learn in Christmas movies? About family and coming together. And it's all about John McClane trying to reunite with his ex-wife. And so, in my opinion, it is a Christmas movie because it has the message of a Christmas movie as well as the setting of a Christmas movie.
Okay. So how does Nightmare Before Christmas fall into that logic? That it's not about family at all.
Okay, so the lesson that Jack learns is contentment, which is another common Christmas movie trope. It's a Wonderful Life has that same kind of trope of contentment in your life.
The last 10 minutes of It's a Wonderful Life does, but not the rest of the movie.
Well, but that's the whole point of a movie is to sum up the message of the last 10 minutes. Almost all everyone. But if we're gonna talk songs, you got What's This, the Town Hall Meeting, which is all about Christmas, Jack's Lament, which is all about Christmas, Making Christmas, which is all about Christmas, and then there was another one that was all about Christmas. I mean, then you got Kidnapping Sandy Claus, which is another. I mean, it's about Santa Claus. So all the songs, except for This Is Halloween, are about Christmas. And all it is the first song isn't the message of the film, it's the setting up the environment of the film. I argue that it's both. I always say that it's a hybrid Christmas and Halloween. I don't say it's just Halloween or just Christmas. Because
Right. So usually in a Christmas movie, nothing bad necessarily happens. That a villain comes into play and he's like, Christmas Carol is kind of like that. Scrooge, he's get visited by ghosts, but there's no villain. Die Hard, there's a villain. What's another good Christmas movie that's out there? Home Alone, I guess you could say. I mean, the movie really isn't about. The movie isn't really about the thieves stealing the home. The movie's about the kid being left alone, right? The movie's Home Alone, and it's just part of what he has to do. It just makes for curry comedy. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but there's a realization of, like in Home Alone, Kevin McAllister has a realization, hey, I really do miss my family, right? Mm-hmm. And Christmas Carol, there's a realization, hey, maybe I shouldn't worry about or be so stone cold about money, right? So there's this holiday spirit, as it were, that gets refound and renewed inside someone. And Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack tries that, but ultimately, what the gifts he gives are all horror gifts. He gives, he kidnaps Santa Claus, and then once the military shoots him out of the sky, his lament at the very end is about, maybe I'll just stick to my roots and be scary Jack the Pumpkin King. So it's, and you could probably say it's a Christmas story told in Halloween, but it's not a Christmas movie. It's just it's a Halloween movie. But as I said in my video at Halloween time, you do you. If you want to watch Nightmare Before Christmas in May, in springtime, you can call it an Easter movie for all I care.
Disney makes money.
Because he goes in the forest and he's got all the, he's got Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving tree, the Easter tree. You can watch it any time of the year.
The weird thing about that is, where is it? One of the things I did on this live was I read the Nightmare Before, the original poem that Tim Burton wrote, that the movie is based off of. In the original poem, there's only 3 trees, and not just in the picture. Like, it actually says, 20 feet in front there stood 3 massive doorways carved. It's weird. I was surprised by that. I feel like there was almost supposed to be a trilogy of books. One where he went into Halloween and one where he went into Easter. All right, so
Yeah, maybe. I don't.
So harsh words aside, what are your top 3 Christmas movies?
Top 3?
Yeah.
So I did a video on this on my TikTok channel. Shameless plug. Number 3 was I did top 5. Number 5 was Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
I'm wearing the sweater I'm wearing now. Says that there's an RV. I don't know if you can see it, but no. Number 4 is Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey. 3 is How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Number 2 is Home Alone. And I get a lot of flack for number 1. My number 1 favorite Christmas movie is The Polar Express. And I announced that, and people are just like, what? That movie's terrible. You had me until Polar Express, and that's the why? Like, because to me, it's almost the perfect Christmas movie. Like I said, like I was saying before, there's an aspect of like the realization of believing in Christmas, and he does it, and it's kind of on a personal note.
Saying boo.
People say boo. It's okay, but what you're the Bible guy. What does Peter say? Faith is the assurances of things not seen, right? Or
Yeah. I don't hate on Polar Express. Like, for me, the plot of Polar Express is really good. The story is really good. The message is really good. But I can't get past the animation. That's my those. It's almost the same thing with the Jim Carrey's Christmas Carol. I love the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol for what it is, for the plot and the story and the filmmaking, but that animation, that uncanny valley. But so I don't get why people hate on people who love Polar Express, because it's a good Christmas movie.
I don't either. Going back to what I was saying about the believing thing, he doesn't see Santa until spoiler alert, people. He doesn't see Santa until he actually convinces or he believes, right? And then he can hear the bell, and that's when Santa shows up. And as a Christian, that is kind of what we all are currently doing. We're not going to see Christ until we believe in him. And it's, kind of comparing Santa to Jesus, but which is bad.
Live a Christ-like life.
Yeah. In terms of, and on a different note, in terms of the animation, the whole movie is motion capture.
Yeah.
So, like the facial expressions of the hero boy, we don't know his name, the hero boy, that's Tom Hanks. He's the boy.
Learn his name?
It's not nice, but the facial expressions, the movements, that's all Tom Hanks. Peter Scolari does the Billy kid. And Tom Hanks is also the conductor. He's Santa Claus. He's a bum. And each one of those, the reason why those the characters look like Tom Hanks, it's because their facial structure is modeled after Tom Hanks. And it's just incredible in how they made the movie. And if you have the Blu-ray to A Christmas Carol, you can watch the side-by-side comparison of when Jim Carrey is in full motion cap outfit and the movie that's going on the bottom, and how they pair up, and what motions they used for to animate Ghost of Christmas Past, Scrooge, Christmas Present, all that stuff. It's pretty awesome on how they make the movies.
Yeah.
So I'm the movie man. I love talking movies.
So I don't hate on you for Polar Express being your top. I've never actually met anyone who Polar Express is their favorite, though. So that's interesting. For me, I know you don't like my favorite. My favorite is Elf, but that might be changing this year. My top 3. So my everyone knows you don't like Elf. My top 3 are really interchangeable. So I'd say my number 5 is going to be. And I'm talking feature-length films. So the original Grinch Who Stole Christmas doesn't count. But But
Right.
the Jim
Yeah,
Carrey
I only
Grinch-
did movies. I didn't do Christmas specials like
'cause I
Charlie
love
Brown
the
Christmas
original
or.
Grinch. But the Jim Carrey's Grinch is my number 5. Christmas Story is my number 4. And then this is where it's probably going to change up. I think Elf is actually going to drop down to my number 3 this year after I've kind of watched all 3 of these movies. And then number 2 is Christmas Vacation, which I just watched for the first time this year, like a couple weeks ago.
What?
Delaney finally got me to watch it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was my very first time watching it. Right? Right? Loved it, though. It's my number 2. And then my number 1 is Scrooged. That is my favorite Christmas movie.
I've seen it, and I think
I
the first time I watched Scrooge, I was too young for it. You know, it's one of those movies where you got to be kind of an appropriate age in order to understand the humor, not necessarily talking about appropriateness, just in terms of humor.
Yeah.
But it's a good one. I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
What's your favorite?
It's also timely. Like it won't. 20 years from now, people won't be like, "Oh, I remember watching this movie Scrooged," and talk about it later like they do with Elf or Die Hard.
All right, so I'm pretty sure you did a video on this as well. But what's your favorite Christmas Carol version? Is it
the Jim Carrey is my favorite. So I've read the book, and the reason why let's see. Actually, I'm in front of my bookcase right now. Yep, there it is.
I read an excerpt.
I have the book. And there's a speech in there. I'm really happy they incorporated, and it's from The Ghost of Christmas Present. Basically, so in the Jim Carrey version, I don't know if they do this in the Jim Carrey version. They're hovering over this bakery, right, and they're Scrooge looks down and he sees like these kids or these homeless people. They're kind of they're smelling the bread and whatever. And Scrooge accuses the Ghost of Christmas Present of like, there's people out there who say they believe in you, yet you don't help them with these things. In fact, you almost punish them for being believers in you. And the Ghost of Christmas Present is like, hey, there's people out there who pretend to be me, and they're so convincing that others start worshiping. Don't blame me for their folly. If I can find the actual speech, it's awesome.
The whole
Scrooge. Before that, shame free talks about Fred. Anyway, the other thing that's really awesome, what I like about Christmas, the Jim Carrey one, is you got the made-for-TV special. I think the most famous one is with Patrick Stewart, and made for TV. And then you got the George C. Scott version, which is good in of itself. But what they do with those is they add so much that it kind of takes away from the story. Like they add so much to Scrooge's character. And after reading the book, like it's like a yearly thing for me. After reading the book several times, Scrooge is, in my opinion, Scrooge is not a heartless character. He's not evil per se, but what he is that he's so fiscally tight that he becomes like almost an enemy of the town. But it's not that he's intentionally trying to be mean to people. It's just he doesn't know any better, right? And it takes when Marley shows up, Jacob Marley, he's like, your chain is huge, you know, like you don't realize the bad you are doing. And Scrooge is like, oh, well, what can I? thanks for helping me. All right, you're gonna be visited by 3 spirits. Can I take them all at once and be done with it? You know. So, I mean, if Scrooge was inherently bad, like an evil guy, he would not have any contact with his nephew, and that's the 3rd character we meet in the story is Scrooge's nephew, Fred, right? His only living nephew or relative. It's at the very end of the movie where, you know, it's the lesson of being a philanthropist than it is a, hey, quit being such a stingy jerk.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of
Let's see.
with that that message of how they raid his house and he dies with all his money, but he can't take it with him. But what he can take with him is all the chains of all the bad he did, all the wrath he stored up.
I found the passage in the Christmas Carol that I was. Yeah, I got it here. It goes. Let's see. Okay. All right. Spirit, said Scrooge after a moment's thought. I wonder who, of all the beings in the many worlds about us, should desire to crack these opportunities of innocent enjoyment. I, cried the Spirit, you would deprive them of their means of dining every 7th day, often the only day on which they can be said to dine at all, wouldn't you? I, cried the Spirit, you seek to close these places on the 7th day, and it comes to the same thing. I seek, exclaimed the Spirit. Forgive me if I'm wrong. It has been in your name, or at least in that of your family, said Scrooge. And the Ghost of Christmas Present's response is amazing. There are some upon this earth of yours who lay claim to know us, and who do their deeds of passion, pride, ill will, hatred, envy, bigotry, and selfishness in our name, who are as strange to us and all our kin and kin as if they had never lived. Remember that and try their dues on themselves, not us. That is just, I was like,
is this from
and then you start,
is this from the
Oh, look at that.
Who that?
It's DJ Hunts. He showed up.
Oh,
yep,
I thought
showing up last second.
it's the book
Yeah,
I was
man.
reading
Sorry
from,
about
by
that.
the way.
Let
The
me
book.
add him to the.
It's the what's it called?
There we
It's
go.
I know it. It's the Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas Carol. That was a speech
Yeah,
by the
I
Ghost of
remember
Christmas
that.
Present.
I remember that quote. I remember that right as Scrooge accused him, was like, look how poor these people are, dude, and you sit here and on a throne of food and you do nothing. And he's like calling him out. I was like, yo, bro, like don't blame me for that. That's your people's problem. There's some people who are the cloth who call themselves Christians, who's, you know, talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk, pretty much.
There you go.
Right?
Do that.
I like that fire in the background.
There we go.
There, Bible guy.
Yes, it is a Yule log. This is my backdrop for this little endeavor. I guess now that
Right on.
we've got somebody said I got the hint now. People trying to guess who the surprise guest was going to be, and okay, here's your hint. Dun 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 dun. And they're like, a duck? What? And then somebody said, I get the hint now. Alright, so
I'm trying to have my phone fall.
now that DJ Hunts is on, I guess we can continue this a little bit longer for a few more minutes, maybe another 15 minutes or so.
Sorry, I'm late, dude.
Hey man, no problem. You know, Movie Man came in clutch and was like, "Hey, I got you. I'll join in." And we've been talking about our favorite Christmas.
We talked about how Elf is a crappy Christmas movie and how Nightmare Before Christmas is not a Christmas movie.
Elf is a crappy Christmas movie. I do not agree.
I'm all about stirring up the controversy.
So what
Okay.
is what's your top 3 Christmas movies?
Elf is number 1. Christmas. Actually, sorry, my bad. Nightmare Before. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's number 2. No. No. My top. What was the question? Top 3, top 5 Christmas
Top
movies?
3 or 5, whichever one. As long as it's prime numbers.
I would say my number 1 favorite Christmas movie, and I watch it. It's almost like religiously. I watch it every year. Is the Santa Claus with Tim Allen?
Oh yeah.
It's a good one.
That was I like watching that one. I've always watched as a kid. It's always memorable. And then I'm gonna take it back, dude. I'm gonna go classic on you guys. Let's say Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, like the 1950s, little 20-minute movie.
Oh,
You guys know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
Yeah. That's the made for TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hermie the Dentist.
Family Entertainment, old school. Yeah. And then I love the Christmas Carol. I love the Christmas Carol too. And
Which one?
the one with Jim Carrey was really
Oh,
good.
Jim Carrey? Okay.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think about the Muppets?
Is that Disney animation? Is that Disney?
Is it? I think it is.
Disney.
Love it. Great
Robert
movie.
Zemeckis. I know he directed because he had like his spiritual trilogy of mocap movies, which I think was Monster House, Polar Express, and then Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah, Monster House.
So
It was
Really? That was all
not
that one
Monster
guy?
House.
wait,
It
what
was Mars Needs Moms.
Was it Marcy's Mom? Are you sure?
Yeah, Monster House was different. It wasn't Disney. It was a different company. It was computer animated, but I think it was motion capture. But in terms of style, it was Polar Express, like Robert Zemeckis. We're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
spiritual
Polar Express,
trilogy.
Mars Needs Moms, and Christmas Carol.
Really, I always thought it was Monster House. All right.
I haven't seen Mars Needs Moms. I need to kind of get on that, but I didn't hear it was good.
I've never seen Marcy's Moms either. What do you guys think of the Muppets Christmas Carol? Like, have you?
I know.
Have you guys seen those?
have. I think I've only watched it like once or twice, and so I barely remember it. So I can't really give a fair judgment. But I love the Muppets.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
So-
There's I mean, it's Michael Caine is Ebenezer Scrooge. You can't really that alone is worth the watch. I just think some of the they try and they have to tone it down for kids and stuff,
Yeah.
but Gonzo being Charles Dickens and narrating it's
It's good framing.
it's not for everyone. It's like it's Sesame Street meets Christmas Carol. That's how they tell the story. They're making it for kids.
Yeah.
Whereas Jim Carrey's version kind of stayed true to the book, but they still kept it in the G category. Because what people don't understand is that Christmas Carol is a ghost story, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to tell a ghost story without it being scary.
Well, definitely the ghost of Christmas future, or yet to come. He was definitely scary.
And then that scene where
As far as,
it's in the book. It's in the book. It's in
Go on,
the
keep going.
Jim Carrey version where he looks outside after Marley leaves and sees all the ghosts flying around everywhere.
That was kind of freaky. That was a little bit
horrifying.
freaky. That was a little disturbing. I can imagine if like that was you were like Scrooge and you saw that, like, dude, you would never be the same again. You'd be completely changed. Like we
That was
don't,
enough.
we don't need to
Yeah.
go. We don't need to go. We don't need to go to Christmas. Goes to Christmas present. Goes to Christmas yet to come, dude. I'm good. I saw enough. All right, I'll change. I promise. Like I promise. I'm
I
good.
think one of the
Ain't no
important things.
blood coming out of my mouth, man. I swear.
I think one of the important things though about Scrooge is he had enough fear with Marley, and I think the other ghosts, because if you just change because of fear of reprisals, that's not real change. It's a desire to want to actually help, and I think that the other ghosts were there to more than just put the fear of God in him, but to also be like, look at all the benefit of helping others. Look at it's about changing his heart to want him to actually change rather than
Good
just being
point.
scared.
Good point.
What did you guys think of the Disney?
You know what,
version
and
with Mickey
it's-
Mouse oh no, go ahead.
The interesting part about it is the order in which Scrooge receives the ghosts. He gets the Ghost of Christmas Past first, and as the reader and as Scrooge, we realize why he is the way he is, and then the Ghost of Christmas Present shows him the current way people view him. And then that's when the Ghost of Christmas Present warns Scrooge about Tiny Tim. It was like, hey, I see a vacant seat and a carefully preserved spot near the campfire if these things don't change. And then the Ghost of Christmas Future shows him not necessarily you're going to die. It's just more along the lines of, here's the impact that people are going to see you after your death. No one's going to care. In fact, there's going to be happiness once you're gone. So
yeah, people are gonna rejoice.
It's argued. It can be argued where Scrooge's turning point actually was. Was it when he saw how he grew up? Is it how he currently is, or that he has no impact, or all three?
Yeah,
Christmas Carol is a great story. I love. That's why I read the book every year.
It's an absolute genius of a creation. Like Charles Dickens made an absolute masterpiece when he made Christmas Carol. My dad even wanted for Christmas. He wanted me last year to get in the book. Christmas. I love the movie so much, and it's just like, dude, when you get into the book, dude, it's even better, bro. You get it like it's so and the book is always better than the movie. You know.
Yeah. Well, and I'm shocked how thin the book is, because Dickens he's
right.
a wordy writer. He'll spend 4 pages describing a bookshelf. You know that he's never.
Yeah.
I mean, this wasn't the time when reading.
If anime had an English writer, it'd be Charles Dickens.
Charles Dickens knows what a filler arc is.
Yeah, 80.
Oh,
I got 80 pages.
I would even argue. I would even argue to say that the Japanese culture learned a couple things from Charles Dickens to make fillers, especially right before the best part in One Piece. All right.
What do you guys think about the?
So that's why I don't understand. Like you said, the length of the book is only 80 pages. How do they make a 3-hour Christmas special out of 80 pages of material?
Well, how did?
And have it not be directed by Peter Jackson.
I was gonna say, how did Peter Jackson make a 250 book in the 9 hours? Which one is the 3-hour?
Man does miracles.
Patrick Stewart, or no, Guy Pearce. Guy Pearce is the one with it's like 3 hours.
I didn't even know Guy Pearce had one.
Wow.
It's a couple years ago or something.
So, what do you guys think about the Disney one?
Trash.
Mickey Mouse and trash.
I love it because it's nostalgic, but it's trash. The Disney, are you talking about the cartoon Disney, like the old 1990s?
Yeah, like Mickey Mouse and
Disney
Scrooge McDuck and
yeah, trash. I mean, I like it because we're nostalgia, but as far as it like getting to like the heart of it all, like the soul of it, I think they just totally just like, forget it.
It's probably the most child.
Yeah, I agree. It's not what it is. It's
right on, movie man.
It's not memorable. People watch it for, like you said, for nostalgia and because they grew up with it. But it's not. There's no impact. The Muppet Christmas Carol has more of an impact than the Mickey Christmas Carol.
So would you guys vote that one as the worst one?
I have no problem.
No, I think
the worst one.
I think the worst one is there's this one. It has Bill Murray in it. He plays like a TV executive.
Yeah,
it just takes all the heart out of Charles Dickens.
I mean, at this point now, it's like, what's not going to piss the audience more? You want to put Scrooge at the bottom, or do you want to put Disney at the bottom? So let's put Scrooge at the bottom, and we'll put Disney second to bottom. You know, just to keep people in the chat and not leave all of a sudden. These guys are trashing Disney Christmas Carol, bro. Screw this.
We're on a dangerous slope of being growing TikTok accounters with opinions. You know.
Please don't post this on TikTok. I won't.
I made one video. I made one video last night because someone I expressed my hatred for Elf, and the comment simply said, "We can't be friends," and I was just like, I made a video responding to that of me just crying my eyes out. It's like, oh, one person destroyed my life.
Here's the thing. See, Elf is in the same category with like the Disney Christmas Carol. It's nostalgic. It's very quotable. It's that one-liner. I mean, enough to like, you know, for me to buy a costume and be like, "Hi, buddy, hope you're fun today." Like, it's just those one-liner things that Will Ferrell does, and that's what people are gonna remember. That's why people are gonna watch it. You know, the story itself, it's like you almost kind of forget. Why is he in New York again? He found his dad. Oh yeah, cool.
What makes me upset is that Santa.
Okay, so typical.
Yeah. Santa told him, "Don't eat the gum on the street. It's not free candy." And what does Buddy do? He starts shoving gum in his mouth on the railing.
First thing he does.
Makes me wonder if he disobeyed the orders.
Yeah. Makes me wonder whether he was actually a real elf.
Okay, so I guess we can.
None of the other elves were as childish or as annoying as Buddy was. Why is Buddy the?
I think it's because he's supposed to.
Because he's the
I'm
youngest.
breaking hearts and taking names right now. It's okay. This isn't an act, people. I genuinely hate the movie Elf.
And I remember like you made a big deal when we like hung out the other day. You were like made a big deal before you confessed that to Donnie and I that like you can't tell anyone, and then you outed yourself.
That I like
Don't
Elf.
tell anybody.
I don't
'Cause
like
I'm
Elf.
gonna do it.
You went full Alexander Hamilton.
I like Elf just because of how quotable it is. You know, Elf is almost. I can almost put Elf, The Polite Night, and Nacho Libre in the same category as like movies that were okay, but were just so quotable. Therefore, everybody loved them. You know.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things. Like if you talk about Elf so much, it makes you just want to go and watch Elf now. You know.
Well then, at what point do you think Princess Bride is in that
So-
category, or do you think Princess Bride is actually a brilliant film?
Princess Bride is a
All
great
the above.
film. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Princess Bride is quotable. Is one of the most very quotable. Princess Bride started it all for all those films. I'm just saying. All right, let me put that great. That movie is great. The movie is awesome.
The only
First time.
thing wrong with Princess
First time-
Bride
here's
is
the thing-
Fred Savage. That's the
thing
only
about with
thing wrong.
Princess Bride is that, yeah. The only thing with Princess Bride, if you like, someone just said, "Hey, go watch Princess Bride," and you have no clue, like what you're getting into or why this movie is good, you're watching it kind of just like, everybody thinks this is a great movie, but then after you watch it and after you kind of like sit back and watch it, be like, okay, now I understand why.
Yeah.
Inconceivable, just like, and you start quoting the movie now. And it's just like,
it's just a wonderful, it's just a fun love story that just it's well crafted. All the performances are amazing, and
I love how we went from Christmas movie to Princess Bride.
It's not. I'm surprised at that, but it's not that far of a leap.
I guess not. Maybe.
Someone just said Princess Bride is the best Christmas movie. Well, guys, I think it's getting late. I gotta go. And,
Yeah, I gotta sign off too.
make
So
some dinner. Yeah.
Thanks for
thank
having
you
me.
guys for joining. It was fun. We got a little ESPN on at the end there. We're all just kind of like going nuts.
Giving our opinions about movies, rating them.
But thanks guys for joining. This was fun. We'll have to put something together like this again. Have a
Yeah, buddy.
great night, guys.
You too, Bill. Merry Christmas to you guys.
Merry Christmas. Okay, everyone, that is the end of the first That Bible Guy Christmas special. It was fun. We had some laughs. We had some surprises. That last half hour to 45 minutes was great, just talking to those guys. Have a wonderful night, everyone, and have a Merry Christmas.